Welcome back to the channel. It has been non-stop in the Saudi Pro League. Since I made the video, a guide to everything you need to know about the Saudi Pro League, the channel has gone crazy. I've had people from all over the world telling me who they're going to support in the Saudi League, what team I should support, more and more information. This league has so much more to it than what meets the eye. So I'm making another video. We're going to keep the Saudi updates coming because it is honestly non-stop. There are transfer rumours and transfer deals being agreed almost daily for the most monumental amounts. And there is huge news regarding one of the biggest players in world football that we need to talk about. So look, thank you so much for the response to the last video. Is absolutely crazy. I think nearly 5,000 views at this point. So look, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs before the start of the new season, and I'm going to be bringing Saudi updates because the support has been great. And I'll tell you what, with all these players going, how can I not focus on this league? Anyway, let's get into the transfers. A couple of clubs aren't going away. They are still recruiting absolutely massively. Al Nassr, they've signed Telles from Man United. They've signed Seko Fofana from the French League. They've signed Brozovic from Inter Milan. They are non-stop. They are going for it. This is Ronaldo's team, and they are building a superb base and spine of players around him to add to the other names that they've already got, like Talisca as well. So they are going for it. They are strengthening in big areas. Let's look at Al Hilal. They are also another massive team. They are probably the biggest, if not the most successful team in Saudi Arabia. If you're getting confused with the teams, because believe me, I still am. I'm still trying to remember what team comes from what area and things like that. My guide is up, so go and check that out first. But Malcolm, the guy who was at Barcelona, who come over, the Brazilian one, the kid came to Europe, went to France first, then to Barca, dropped off the face of the earth with a move to Zenit St. Petersburg, is now back in a league where there are eyes on him. He's moved for about 60 million. He's gone for massive money. The Saudi Pro League, the PIF, are spending big, not only on wages, but on transfer fees as well. That is probably one of the biggest ones they've spent on, 60 million. Another player that they've spent a lot of money on, and he's going to the same team, is Milinkovic-Savic. This guy has played for Lazio for as long as I can remember, and all of a sudden, when they get Champions League football, he said, do you know what? I'm going to move to the Saudi Pro League. I'm going to Al Hilal. Lazio finally gets Champions League. I guess that's what he did for them. He got them Champions League. Finally, he helped out on that. We are now going to see him plying his trade for Al Hilal. It'll be interesting to see how he does, because I think a lot of people always expected a lot from Milinkovic-Savic and always expected him to eventually make that move to one of the bigger leagues in Europe. I know Italian League is big, but I'm talking Prem, maybe Spain, something like that. But no, he's gone and left Europe. So massive talking point there. They're also being very heavily linked, and it could already be agreed. We're just kind of waiting for it. Mahrez could be joining Al Hilal. So Manchester City could be losing one of their biggest names to Saudi Arabia as well. It's absolutely crazy. Another player I want to touch on is Firmino. He also, a while back now it almost seems, but joined Al Ahly, which is Mendy's team. For some of you that might be able to link the two players together, he's joined that team as well. There's also talk about a former Liverpool man, Sadio Mane, joining the Saudi Pro League as well. But another former Liverpool man has also joined the Saudi Pro League. That is El Ettifaq, Steven Gerrard's team. Jordan Henderson is on his way to Saudi. This is huge because this is the Liverpool captain and an England international who is key for Southgate joining the Saudi Arabian League. And do you know what? For me, this one's the biggest for English fans because all these other players have gone. But when an English player goes, all of a sudden the media, they start focusing a little bit more. And I think Henderson being out there, one, how is it going to affect his England career? I know it's probably in the twilight anyway, but I still think Hendo would want to be there, and Southgate probably still wanted him. Let's see how this league affects it, because we know that with England, players that have gone to weaker leagues or players that have dropped down into the Championship or something like that, Southgate normally tends to sort of drop them. So let's see what happens with Hendo, and that's why I think this will bring eyes onto the Saudi League from England a little bit more. It won't just be sort of brushed away when a name in England as big as Jordan Henderson joins. And it's obviously the Henderson-Gerrard connection as well. It's very, very interesting. Now, that's kind of the players rounded up. There are obviously other players moving, but they're like the biggest names. And if you can tell me some other players that are moving, or maybe even smaller level of Saudi players that are moving around, or just not smaller level, but different kind of caliber of player moving around the Saudi Pro League, then let me know, because I'm really struggling to find that information. It is not as easy. You can sit there on Transfer Market and just scroll, but it's not as easy as it should be, believe me. Now, the big one we need to talk about, Kylian Mbappé. This is massive. Now, Kylian Mbappé was offered to the Saudi Arabian League probably by his agent, or I'm not sure how it's gone down, but they have offered to get him out of this dismal... I think he's in a group at PSG called the Undesirables. The PIF have offered an eye-watering amount of money to try and get Kylian out of this not-so-good situation in France. Now, I don't know whether there's agent talk or not, but I almost think that there probably was, because why not? They might as well just see what the offer was. But ultimately, the offer is almost and around, in total, of a package for pretty much a one-year deal, £1 billion. Like, it's massive. The transfer bid was a new world record, £259 million it would have been. I think it was like over $330 million. It's absolutely crazy that PSG are almost ludicrously probably sat there regretting the decision that Mbappe has made. But obviously you would take that money. The money per year is where it gets ridiculous. Kylian Mbappe would have been on and was offered, and probably offers still on the table, 600 million a year. I honestly don't know how to kind of put this into perspective. That kind of works out that daily he would make like 1.6 million. So I think a month is like 50 million a month. And we can go into it a little bit smaller. Bear with me here. I'm just trying to work it out. 68,000 an hour, 1,100 every minute, and £19 a second. So it is absolutely crazy. This is like one of the biggest transfer sagas to sort of go on ever in terms of numbers, I'd say. But Kylian Mbappé has said no, didn't want to meet with the officials, which makes me wonder if there would have been an agent involved, or Saudi have just kind of gone straight in there and just kind of put the money on the table and said, look, come for a year and then you can join Real Madrid. Which is the mad part about the deal. They know how many eyes Mbappe would bring just for a year, that it would keep momentum for them to keep adding more and more names. So they were like, look, it's worth $1 billion. So that is crazy. It literally would have made Mbappe, if he's probably fairly close already, but he would have been a 24-year-old billionaire, which is mad. And he has shown, though, that Europe is still very, very attractive, and he probably still wants the Real Madrid move. And if he has to miss something for a year, then he's even apparently said he'd rather not play. So it does show that Europe's still attractive, but it's probably losing its grip a little bit. Now, we're going over to someone else who's got massive influence, but he's not a player. And this clip is going viral today on social media. And it's very, very important in my eyes, because with the younger generation of fans, especially some football fans now as well, speed is huge. And Speed loves Ronaldo as much as now he's starting to love Messi as well. He's over, I think, in Japan on Al Nassr's like pre-season tour, trying to like meet with Ronaldo and make videos go viral and stream and whatever. The influence that Speed brings to the kids and the eyes that Speed gets on him will be huge for the Saudi League, because Speed is so sort of new to football that he has no bias to these leagues, no bias to European leagues. that if speed is following a league and following the biggest player in a league, kids will start to look at the league, or fans of speed will start to look at the league a little bit more. We saw it the other day with the MLS when speed was there. All his videos of Messi and the MLS was going viral. Now it's happening here on the preseason tour in Japan. This is massive. The influence that he's bringing and the eyes that he will be bringing to the Saudi Pro League because of Ronaldo will be massive. Do not underestimate the power that speed will have in terms of bringing eyes to the Saudi Pro League. Wouldn't surprise me if he's also on a ridiculously good financial package from the Saudi Pro League, because why not? It's well worth it for advertising. But there's a video of him waving to superstars of Al Nassr, and when you look and you think, hang on, all of a sudden it was like Ronaldo and one other player. All of a sudden you've got like Ronaldo, Talisca, Brozovic, Fofana, Tellez to join, and more Al Nassr. You start thinking, this looks like a real big team. Like, only the biggest teams in the world can have these caliber of players. And all of a sudden, they're all there at one team in Saudi. And there's like 5 more teams that are also trying to compete for massive names. Now, I keep hearing this argument that people are talking about, there's only 4 or 5 teams in Saudi, and to be honest with you, like, it will just drop off because the rest of the league won't be competitive. It's a farmers league. And look, the rest of the league isn't amazing, and there are obviously 5-6 teams in Saudi that have better standing in the league, better investment, and obviously now better squads. So that will happen, and there could be this huge golfing class. But what I do think is really, really important to remember is that 5 or 6 teams being competitive is better than half the top leagues in Europe. To be fair, there are a lot of leagues in Europe where it's like a one-horse race pretty regularly, and if a second comes in, it's really exciting. So imagine you got 5-6 teams of super competitive teams, and then when they get their big matches, it'll be pretty exciting. Yeah, they might walk through every other team in the league, but there could be like 10 games, 12 games a season where it'll be like really exciting. So I think people are underestimating it a little bit, and they're loving to play it down, and they keep brandishing the sports washing card and all that. Look, just give the league a chance, and look, be fair to the fans of these clubs in the Saudi Pro League, because they're just supporting their team that they love, right? So just be fair to them and give their league a chance. So I'm not kind of ignoring that card at all, but I also don't need to bring it up. Politics and football don't need to mix. I'm just here to watch some of the best players in the world at their new teams and a new league, which is exciting right now. And I think most people should probably take the same outlook on it. Yeah, look, if you want to get into all the other stuff, then have that conversation, but don't be having it here on this channel in the comments. Anyway, what I want to say is, at the current rate that Saudi are recruiting players, I also don't think it will be very long at all until more and more squads in the league become competitive, because if the players like the lifestyle and they actually have so much money and investments and houses and the family life's good in Saudi, they might not want to leave. And then all of a sudden these other teams might go, actually, we can sign these players not on so much money because they've already made huge money at the big boys, but they want to stay in Saudi. Why not? These other teams could kind of grow off of the filter down of talent when, like, the amount of foreign players in a team, the capacity's hit and a player needs to move on. If they still want to live in Saudi, they might join another team that aren't so well known in the league. The other thing that's really, really important to remember here is, and this is crazy, but this is so influential in today's game, is like FIFA and what will now be EAFC. The Saudi Pro League has so many superstars in that people will start using these players on the new game, and there'll be huge promos, and those players will be used in those promos, and there will be more and more eyes on this league because of that game as well. That'll be a very, very hot area of attention for the Saudi Pro League. And I know people go, oh, it's only that, but think about the attention that game and the eyes of kids and adults and whoever FIFA in all the years has brought into football, because it has. You'd be lying if you said it didn't. People play FIFA before they even like football sometimes, which is crazy to think. But that is the case. And now I fully believe that the people that already have their eyes on FIFA and football will now have eyes on the Saudi Pro League because of that game as well. So look, it's all going to come together and it's moving at a very, very quick rate. But right now, before the season starts, the Saudi Pro League is showing no signs of slowing down. Let me know your thoughts, because I am getting more and more excited the closer it gets to the season. I've watched little bits of pre-season here and there. I watched like the highlights of Ruben Neves' pre-season, and I've seen some Al Nassr stuff as well. I'm not sold on a team, and I'm just excited to kind of see what happens. I don't want to bring the politics into it, and I just want to give it a chance. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've got new teams. Let me know if I'm missing news, because believe me, it takes some real digging to find this stuff. So let me know. I'm super keen, and I've even been thinking I would love to get to a game. So if anyone can help me out with that, then that would be great. I'm going to catch you in the next one, and I'm going to try my best to keep you up to date with the Saudi Pro League. See you soon.